Hi sir, my name is Rohit. Today I want to tell about first experiment of the digital signal processing lab. First question is basic MATLAB operations. Create a simple vector with 10 elements called A. So I took 10 elements and I created an array with 10 elements like this. 1A and 1B is add 3 to each element of the vector A and store the result in a new vector called B. So I added 3 to the each element of the vector A. So I store the result in new vector called B. So we will get the output of the new vector B as like this. And question number C, creating a 5 cross 5 matrix X using semicolons to separate the rows of a matrix. So by using semicolon we will get the matrix like this. Here X equal to, we use semicolons. By using semicolon it will go to the new row. Okay, we will get 5 cross 5 matrix like this. And to separate each row we use column in the second here. Similarly, by to separate columns we use notation like this. Okay, we will get result as like this. And 1D is find the transpose of the matrix X and store the result in a new matrix Y. So I took a new matrix Y is equal to X transpose like this. By using this notation we will get the transpose of the matrix here. And 1E, multiply these two matrices X and Y. Okay, by using multiplication symbol we will get the multiplication of two matrices like this. Okay, and we store the result in F. And 1F, multiply the corresponding elements of two matrices. To get the corresponding elements of the to multiply corresponding elements of two matrices we should use notation like this, dot star. By using notation like this we will get the corresponding elements of the two matrices by multiplication. Okay, 1G, create a column vector x1 from the elements of fourth row of the matrix X. To refer all the elements in the mth column we type x of column comma m. So here we have to create a column vector from fourth row of a matrix X and name it as x1 by using like this notation, and we will get the output as like this. Okay, to get the column we use transpose. Okay, like this. And 1H, select the elements in the mth through nth columns of matrix X. Taking first 4 elements from every row we use notation like this, x of column comma 1 is to 4. Okay, then we will get the result like this. And 1I, create a submatrix x2 taking the inner subpart of matrix X. Actually here for 1I we have to make a submatrix from matrix X. Let us say we have to take 1, 3, 5 rows and 1, 4 columns and name it as x2 equal to x of 1, 3, 5 comma 1 comma 4 like this. Then we will get the result as like this. And 1J, delete a row or a column in matrix X. Here we are going to remove a column or a matrix of row or column of a matrix X. To do that we have to choose a row or column and assign it a null vector. Example, a of 4 comma column is equal to blank. Then so that we remove the fourth row of X. Like that we have to do. So we will get the result as like this. Okay. Actually here we did deletion of row. Similarly for deletion of column we use notation like this, x of column comma 3 equal to null. Okay, so that we can remove the column also in the same way. And next, question number 2. Question number 2 is MATLAB commands, graph, save and read. 2A, generate elementary signals and display using plot, subplot and stem commands in MATLAB. Also add x label, y label, axis type, grid on, legend to the figure. That is 2A. Okay. First of all, let us discuss about plotting. Let us take an example of sin x plus cos x. Here I took x equal to 0 is to 0.005 is to 10. That is, to get the more continuous graph, I took very less difference so that we will get the accurate continuous graph. And subplot of 2 comma 2 comma 2, we used this here just to get the graph in the figure window so that we can subplot the graphs. As we have subplotted the figure tab equal to sin x plus cos x, and for plotting we use plot of xy, x label of x, y label of sin x plus cos x, and title also we have here like that, grid on axis type. Now let us discuss about subplotting. Subplot is nothing but dividing the figure into different parts. A equal to 0 is to 0.001 is to 5. Subplot of 2 comma 2 comma 1, that means assigning first subplot from the 2 cross 2 space of a figure window. C1 equal to sin of A. It is same. For plotting we use plot and x label. For giving title we use title of similar grid on and axis type. Now let us use stem in the third subplot. Here you see subplot of 2 comma 2 comma 3 means here we are, that is third subplot. Okay. For getting actually stem is used for discrete graphs, and plot is used for continuous graphs. Okay. For getting discrete graph we use a difference as 0.5. Okay. C2 equal to b dot. Similarly we can get like this. Okay. Now let us use legend in the fourth subplot and compare sin x and sin square x graph. Okay. For using fourth subplot we use notation like this, subplot of 2 comma 2 comma 4. Okay. Similarly C3 equal to sin x, C4 equal to sin square x. We have to compare those two graphs. Okay, these are all same. We will get the output in the figure like this, sin A graph, sin x plus cos x graph, and using stem command subplot 3. And in subplot 4 we are comparing sin x and sin square x graphs. When you see sin x and sin square x is somewhat less than the sin x in different intervals. Okay. Okay, we can observe like this. Wait a minute. For 2b, question is use save, load, XLS read, XLS write, audio read commands. In 2b, first one is create and save two variables a and b to a file called abfile.math. Okay. So I took two variables p and q and I saved them into file called pqfile.mat. Okay, we will get output like this. Similarly, second one also, these are all same kind of questions. Create and save two variables a and b to a file called ab1file.txt. Similar like that, we can, I saved r and s files to rsfile.txt. Okay, we will use notations like this to save files. And create and save two variables a and b to a file called ab1file.xls. Okay, here what I did was, first let us create a table, then save it XLS format. Okay, like this we can give the information. Then we did file name equal to, we can do file name equal to table with 5 rows dot XLS file, so that we can save two variables to rs dot XLS file. Here we use notations like this, write table of t comma file name equal to some file name dot XLS. To open a file, we know open of file name. Okay. For fifth one, create a structure S1 that contains three fields a, comma b, comma c. Save the fields of the structure S1 as individual variables in a file called newstruct.mat. Okay. So here we are going to create a structure and save three variables. S1.a equal to something like this, S1.b equal to something like this, S1.c equal to something like this. And to save the three variables under structure, we use notation like this, save of new. Okay, like we will get output like this. Okay, and sixth one is save two variables And in the second question second question B part, sixth one is save two variables to example.mat, then append a third variable to same file. So like this we can save by using notation like this. We can save two variables to pqfile.mat, and to append a third variable, here I took a variable a equal to rand of 2. To append the third variable we use notation like this. Then we will get the output in the form of this way. Okay. Next, in the second question C part, read cell and write cell commands. Here we are going to understand about read cell and write cell. Okay. Let us create a random cell and use these commands on it like this. Okay. Here you can use .csv or .txt or .xls, and you have take the same in the below read cell phase like this. Okay. We will get the output in the form of this way. And second question D part, here we are going to discuss about read matrix and write matrix commands. First of all, let us create a random matrix and use these commands on it. Okay, in this way, write matrix and read matrix. We will get output in the form of this way. Okay. Next, second question E part, here we are going to read audio files with command. Actually the question is read audio files in range of different file formats including .wav, .mp4, .au, etc., and also write sound files in different formats including .wav, .mp4, .au, etc. Okay. Here I took the example as dancemonkey.mp3 in the form of this notation and sound of YFS. We will get the output as music of the dance monkey. Okay. And also this note this point, the music folder you selected should be in the same directory file. Okay. And next one is third question part A, express the quadratic equation with A, B, C and its quadratic formula in MATLAB. Also find the roots of quadratic equation by assuming the weights A, B, C of the expression. Okay. Here without using root command I used a function to find roots. Function of in this notation we will denote the function. Okay. The while should be of same name as the function. That's why I took the file name as this way. Okay. And actually we know how to find the roots of a quadratic equation. That is the formula of minus x1 x2 equal to minus b plus or minus root over b square minus 4ac by 2a. In the same way, root over b square minus 4ac, that is discriminant, I took as x, and 2a I took as y, so that we will get the roots in like this: minus b plus x by y, minus b minus x by y. We have created a function. Now let give the input in command window. Okay. For input I gave 1, 5, 6. So x square plus 5x plus 6. We will get the roots as minus 2 and minus 3. So it is true. Okay. We will get the correct output. Okay. And in third question part B, plot the function y equal to x square plus 0.5x plus 2 over the range x equal to minus 5, 10. Okay. So I took the range like this, x and y equal to quadratic equation. Similarly plot x level, all are same. We will get the output as output waveform like this. Okay. Graph of x square plus 0.5x plus 2. Okay. In this way we will get the output. And fourth question, there are a lot of commands. First one is repellum, which is used to repeat the copies of array elements in this way. Here I took a equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 matrix, and b equal to repellum of a, 3, 2, 3. This 5 multiplies the rows and 2, 3 multiplies the number of columns respectively. So we will get output like this. Okay. And b is repmat, which is used to repeat the copies of array. Okay. Here u equal to diag of which is diagonal matrix, and by using repmat, here 2 can be referred as number of times it should be repeated in downward direction, and 3 is referred as number of times it should be repeated in rightward direction, so that we will get the output like this. Okay. And C, I generates identity matrix. The function I generates identity matrix. The I of 5, this 5 signifies that we have to create a 5 cross 5 matrix, so that we will get output like this. And D, zeros creates a array of zeros of 4. To get a n cross m matrix, we have to give input as n, n, so that we will get output like this, 4 cross 4 matrix. Okay. And next E ones, which is used to create an array of all ones. To get a n cross m matrix, we have to give inputs as n comma n, so that we will get output in the form of this way. Okay. And next, f. Rand is used so that creates an array of randomly distributed numbers. Rand of 4. To get an n cross n matrix, we have to give inputs. Similarly, in the same way, we will get output like this: 4 cross 4 matrix of different random numbers. Okay. Next is G. Reshape, which is used for reshaping the array. Reshape of r comma 8 2. Okay. Here you can reshape the array by commanding the right part. Okay. In this way, we will get output. Cat, which is concatenates the array. L equal to rand of 4, m equal to rand of 4, creating two random matrices, and by using cat function horizontally and vertically, we will get output like this. I. Cat, which is used for horizontal concatenation. So by using this function, we will get output in this form. And next one is J, which is vertical concatenation. Cat. So we will get output like this: vertical concatenation. In the previous one, horizontal concatenation. This one, vertical concatenation. And K. Diag, which is used to create a diagonal matrix. So that by using this notation, we create a diagonal matrix, so that we will get output in this form. And next, L. Block diag, which creates a block diagonal matrix. Here I took R1 equal to 1 of 3 to R2 and R3, and for block diagonal matrix I took as S1, block diagonal of R1, R2, R3. We will get output in this form. Okay. Next, M. Flip along. This is used to flip a matrix from left to right. See, you can observe like this: previous matrix and now. By using flip along, we can flip the matrix from left to right. Similarly, flip UD, which is used to flip the matrix from up and down. Okay. In this way, we will get the output. For O, rock 90, which is used for rotates the matrix by 90 degrees in counterclockwise direction. So that we will get output like this. Trill of R, which is used to extract the lower triangular part. So that we will get the output in this form. Triu R, which is used to extract the upper triangular part. So we will get the output like this form. These are all different functions which we can, so that we can get different outputs. And permit function is used to permit the array dimension. This has a lot of things to understand, better reference Stack Overflow. Now I am providing a simple example FER you to understand. We will get output like this in this way. Okay. Next, S. Circ shift, which is used to shift array circularly. Using the above created matrix, shifting its rightmost column to left side. Circ shift of Q1 2. So that we will get output in this form. Next, T, which is length function, which is used to find the length of largest array dimension. Which is used to determine the length of the array. By using this length function, we will get the output like this: length of the array. Next, U, size, which is used to determine the size of the array. Okay, we will get like this. Next, NDIMS, which is used to determine the number of array dimensions. We will get output like this. And NumEl, which is used to determine the number of array elements. Each empty, which determine whether array is empty or not. Okay, here we get 0, so array is not empty. Okay. Next, fifth question. Fifth question is about types of loop. Okay. In fifth question, A, while loop. While loop is repeatedly executes statements while condition is true. Okay. Here I took example for simple while loop. Here we are going to write a simple code of finding factorial. Okay. In this way, we can find the factorial by using while loop. This code. Okay. Similarly, how we are programming C language like this. Okay. Similarly, how we are programming in C language, we can program in MATLAB as in the same way. Okay, we will get output like this by using while loop. And 5b, for loop. I took example for a simple for loop. I am simply displaying some numbers using for loop. Okay, for v equal to in this way we have to use the notation while we are declaring the for loop. Okay, we will get output like this, displaying random some numbers. Next, 5c, nested loops. Here we are going to give some examples on nested loops. Nested for loop, we are going to give example on multiplication of matrix without using multiplication factor. Okay, a equal to rand of 2 comma 3, b equal to rand of 3 comma 4. Actually, nested loop means using for loop using two or more loops. Okay, in the same form, in the same code. Here we are using 2 for loops. Okay, by using this input we will get output like this. Okay, and nested for loop with break and continue statements. Actually, break is used to terminate the loop statement, and continue is used when we need to skip the remainder of its body. In a loop we use continue. When we want to terminate the loop we use break. Okay, in this way we will write the code. It is same as like in the C language. Okay, similarly in MATLAB also somewhat changes. Okay, in C language we will write return, and here we are writing end. That's it. Almost code is similar. Okay, somewhat functions will change. We will get output like this. And next, question number 6. This is decision making. Okay, in 6a, example on if and statement, checking number greater than or less than 10. These are also very simple. We are giving input like this, a equal to input of something, and if a less than 10, f print of a is less than 10, and f print of, if the condition is true, then we will print the following way, and if the condition is wrong, we will print this one. Value of a is like that. Okay, output, enter the number you have to check, 8. A is less than 10, value of a is 8. Okay, in this way. Okay, you understand, right? If the condition is true, we will print in this way. And 6b, if else statement. Here also same, we are taking the input like this, and if the condition is true, we are printing following. If the condition is false, then we will print this, and after that we will print this in this form. 6c, if, else if, and else if, and else. So these are all of almost same type. We are using just different functions in the middle of the code. Okay, we can write in any way, no problem, by using if else. Okay, actually here 6c, if, by using if, else if, and else. Okay, here we are taking input as like this, c equal to input of, check the boolean condition, if c equal to 10, if the condition is true, then we print this one, and if c equal to 20, if this condition is true, we will print this one, and if this condition is true, we will print this one. If none of the conditions is true, we will print like this, none of the values are matching, and at last we will write the end. Okay, we will get output by giving the input. We will get definite output with the different inputs. Okay, 6d, nested if statements, that is using more if statements in the same code. Okay, here we are giving input to the r like this, and if r greater than x, we will get the output r is greater than x. Else if these conditions are true, we will print if these conditions are true, and in the inside if this condition is true, then we will print R is a non-integer value between 3 and 6. If the condition is not true, we will print this one, R is an integer value between 3 and 6. And if this condition is true, we will print R is less than 6. Note one point: if in the code will follow from top to bottom. If first condition is true, then it will print and it will stop the output. Okay, here you see, if first condition is wrong, then it will go to next. If that also wrong, then it will go to next. If the first function is correct, then it will give the output and stop. It won't go to next function. Okay, same is applicable for all if else statements. 6e, switch statement. Here we are going to see example on switch statement. Example on grading. We will give input to grade like this. As you have to take a string. Okay, like this way, switch of grade. Case A, if this case is true, we will print like this. If case B is true, we will print well done. If case C, we will print like this. Okay, if case D, you print you passed. In this way, based on different cases, we will print different sentences, so that we will get output in this form. And 6f, nested switch statements, using more switch functions in the same code. We are giving input to x in this form and giving another input to y in this form, and switch x. Case 1, this one. Case 2, similarly as previous one, we are giving like this, and we will get output like this based on different cases. Okay, thank you. Okay, I finished my explanation of the experiment 1. Thank you, sir.